Okay, welcome to our Super League prediction video. We're the Rugby League Outsiders. This is the only prediction video on the internet that counts, in our opinion. My name's Craig.
And my name's Karl.
And Karl, let's get right into it. Obviously, we've skipped a week with it being Challenge Cup. Warrington got their arse handed to them by Wigan.
Yes,
and,
they did.
Their strap line was expect the unexpected. Was that the unexpected for you?
No, it was the expected. Well, I actually tipped Warrington, didn't I?
Yeah, I did. We both did.
And then I watched it and I was like, why did I tip Warrington? Obviously, Wigan they're such a good team. They're going to win all the trophies this year.
No, but I think what we did was there was that game before where Warrington played a load of debutants. Yeah. You know what I mean? They lost by 1 point and we got carried away with it.
We got carried. We got carried away. You know, we like stories, don't we? We got carried away with the Sam Burgess story, and it was like, yeah, he's going to do it. Just the one game this year, he's going to do it, and. No, and then they went and lost again at the weekend, and the wheels started falling off. Well, they hadn't started falling off. But
it was interesting listening to Sam Burke because he sort of hinted during his pre-match interview this week that the team weren't quite attuned to a big game like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? They couldn't control the emotion. They got whatever it was. Whereas Wigan, they've got lots of old stages there that they've been there and done it and perhaps handled it better.
Yeah.
So quite interesting how our setting can have such an impact on a game.
It is, yeah. There's just the 3 points in it between us now as well. I think the week before you pulled another one back. So yeah.
Here we go.
Coming up the table.
I will tell you what
faster than Leeds Rhinos are.
No, what I will say is I'm glad I weren't predicting anything last week because there were some weird results.
No, I would have got a fair few of them wrong last week, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, the only week that counts is this one, so let's get into it. Thursday night, love a Thursday night game, you and I. Castleford versus Hull KR, 8 o'clock.
And it's on TV, isn't it, this one?
Yeah, it's on TV, yeah.
Yeah, so look, Cass are starting to get better, aren't they? They had a good performance this week against Wigan.
Yeah.
Not many points in it. I was slightly shocked when I saw the result, actually. But might be a bit of a Challenge Cup hangover there with Wigan, but they still went and got the job done, which is the mark of a true champion side. Look, Castleford, they're getting better. They've certainly improved, but I don't think it'll be enough to see off Hull KR. I think Hull KR will get the job done away at the Jungle. Yeah,
so you mentioned that game last week. So the rumour has it that Wigan were on the piss for 4 days.
Oh, right.
So I don't think it was quite 4 days, but I think they do fucking party hard.
I saw Liam Marshall's singing. At the do after. It was.
Do you remember
pretty terrible?
I know this is completely off. We always go off topic anyway, so I'm going to run with it. Did you see where Liam Marshall's stag do when they dressed him in a Saints kit?
No.
You got to get on the internet, find that out, right? But I think it was Liam Marshall's stag do, and they dressed him in a Saints kit for his stag do. Brilliant.
They are just going on about Wigan. they seem to have a really good camaraderie and team connection between them. I was in the press conference with Matt Pete after, and he started making Wigan likeable. Yeah, I know that's quite a difficult thing to do because with them being so good, they've always been the enemy, haven't they? But yeah, he basically said, look, there's such a tight knit group of those players, and he was talking about even on the run up to the Challenge Cup in there were couple of days before. He says the lads are just dicking about basically. And, he says when they're on it, but when they're relaxed, he says they're just a bunch of great mates. Yeah. Anyway, this isn't about the Wigan game. We're on about Hull KR. Hull KR are going to win at the Jungle this week.
Yeah, I'm going to put it down to a Hull KR win. Love watching Hull KR play, and I think they'll just be too good for Castleford. So
won the last 4 of 6 of Hull KR. They've only stumbled against the big teams have struggled against.
Riding high with Ryan Hall, launching himself into the all-time highest try scorer in the league.
Yeah, and what a try it was as well. Absolutely, it was worthy of a 248th try, record scoring try, wasn't it? Yeah, pinned his ears back, and off he went. Huddersfield on the other hand are struggling, but we'll get onto that in a minute.
Okay, so moving on to the Friday night, the first game we're going to talk about is Leeds Rhinos versus Leigh Leopards. Now, this is a Rob Burrow tribute game. Apparently, there's Leeds legends from all over the world flying in for this, so it's going to be a real special occasion.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see. I just hope that Leeds put something on the pitch worthy of of the occasion, really, because the wheels are starting to fall off a little bit. We've been saying it for a while, but last weekend's loss to Hull, not a good look for the Rhinos.
I don't see it as like wheels falling off. I think that's wrong.
Do you just think they're not being on?
No, they've not. They're flat. The tyres are flat.
No, but
Karl. They're running at like 10 mile an hour, like they've just run into a stinger with the police. You know what I mean? And the tyres are out. So they're not falling off. Like Warrington losing this week, that's the wheels falling off. But you pick the wheel up, you stick it back on, you crack on, right? Leeds have just had flat tyres all season.
Flat tyres. You should, trademark that expression. Leeds Rhinos flat. Right. So there were only 2 points off the top of the table a few weeks back, though. But yeah, it does feel like they should be achieving more for what they've invested into that team this year. Leigh, on the other hand, started a bit sticky, didn't they? Had loads of injuries. Never really managed to get the strongest team on the pitch. And they're just getting better and better. And they turned Catalan over at the weekend.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be too strong for Leeds, I'm afraid. You know me. I'm a Rhino through and through, but I just think until they get the tyres pumped up, I'm hoping that the appointment of Ian Blease as director of rugby, or director of whatever it is, whatever the term is.
Yeah, but that doesn't turn a team around.
Why?
What does he do to turn a team? He's not coaching the side, is he?
Well, what you've got is
what does a director of rugby even do?
Well,
apart from buy players and...
No, I think it's much more than that. One is I think they take a lot of pressure off the head coach, who's juggling a ton of different stuff, whether it's budgets, whether it's logistics, you know what I mean, all that kind of stuff. 2, it brings new ideas from Leigh. You know what I mean? Leigh have been overachieving.
Yeah, okay.
They've got a lot of players there that are overachieving.
I'll take that.
At Leeds, you've got players that are underachieving at the minute. Fresh eyes on the coaching departments because, they've already said they're going to be working together, Rowan Smith, Ian, Blease, they're going to be like working together to try and, to improve stuff. So it's fresh eyes. So I think it may well have a dramatic effect. I think it will in the future. I think it's a great appointment.
Yeah.
But, so I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. Leigh are going to win.
I agree. I agree.
I'm not buying it. Yeah,
I think Leigh are going to win.
Maybe long term, but not in the short. Unless the players really get into the emotion of the occasion and they're just like, under no circumstances are we losing this game this weekend.
Yeah, but wouldn't you have done that at the weekend though? Just gone.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because they were laying reefs for Rob Burrow. His family had been invited there of like guests of honours. Wouldn't you have done it then? And it's there's the whole team's littered with Liam Sutcliffe, Tom Briscoe, Leeds, ex-Leeds players, and yeah, it didn't happen. Anyway,
did you see what they said on the Sky Sports the commentary team? He was Wilkin laid into him, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
It was the forwards. He says the forwards are just soft, and I think Hull went with a bigger pack, a meaner pack, which we know they've had all year, and they just haven't really fired, have they? And they just rolled them. And Leeds, we all know, don't we? If your pack's on top, it makes it easier for everybody else on that team. So, yeah, Leeds' forwards have got to start standing up.
Yeah, completely agree with that. Okay, so both going Leigh there. So next game, 8 o'clock as well on the Friday night, Wigan versus London.
Yeah, there's not much I can say about this. I would expect Wigan to win all day long at home. They haven't put a foot wrong, have they, this season?
The thing is, Wigan have got enough points just to let London win, haven't they? They could do.
I don't. One thing I've learned about Matt Peat is he doesn't really work that way, mate. He put his strongest side out the week before the Challenge Cup final, so it's not going to happen. London took a bit of a backward step, I think, last week. Really got handed to him by St Helens, so no, it'll be a Wigan win. Yeah,
100% a Wigan win. I'm loving listening to Matt Peat. I really am. I'd love to spend the day with Matt Peat and just kind of get into his head. And I think he's just got some very, very smart thought processes about running a team, about managing people. He is truly a people person.
Yeah.
And really enjoy every time he speaks. I think he's very humble. speaks with humility, but also, I mean, he's just destined for great stuff, isn't he? So,
well, he's already achieved it, hasn't he, mate? He's got every trophy in that trophy cabinet at the minute. So
yeah, no, but I think there's
I think
level,
he's going to go down as you can see it in years to come. If you were sat here recording this in another 10 years with a few more grey hairs, or you might not have any hair left by that point, we'll still be talking about him, and I would have thought that he'll end up being a legendary status eventually.
Yeah, like a Wayne Bennett or something like that. But there is talk of, would he cut it in the NRL?
Would he? That's a very interesting question, and one I think we should probably venture into on another episode.
Yeah, okay. So we're both going Wigan there. It's quite an easy one to choose. Then we're on to Saturday's game, Hull FC versus Warrington Wolves.
Right, so Hull FC
3 o'clock
finally got a win. It went at the hands of the Leeds Rhinos. Look, the forwards, like I just said a minute ago, forwards have really started working. Warrington, on the other hand, have now lost the last 3 games. Have the wheels fallen off? Is it a crisis, or is it just a temporary blip? They're going to get back on the cart this week. What do you think?
I think that's the normal sort of trope for this point in the season. Remember, the top of the season. Right, I'm not doing it this year. I'm not doing it. I think Sam Burgess and the lads there at Warrington deserve a bit more than that. So I'm not even going to speculate. I think they'll pick themselves up, and I don't think Hull FC stand a chance. That's what I'm saying.
No, neither do I. I very much expect Warrington to get properly back on the horse this week.
I think George Williams might be back. He had a dodgy ankle.
Yeah,
or something.
Look, he's massive for him, isn't he? I think whenever he's not playing, we see a difference with Warrington, and he's back this week. So expect a Warrington win. That's my tip.
Okay, 5:30 then on Saturday. You got Catalan Dragons versus Huddersfield Giants at Catalan.
Now, how interesting is this that we're saying that Catalan have lost the last 5 of 6 games? That is the same record as Huddersfield's last 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wouldn't have expected it. They've had points in this season where they've looked like the Catalan of old, but overall they're still missing that trio of players that they had last year, and they're not quite as good as last year. But I do think they're underperforming at the minute.
Well, they've had so many different variations in the spine, haven't they?
Yeah.
So many different variations there that they haven't been able to get any kind of consistency together. Anyway, looking at this, I do think it's a Catalan win. One of the biggest factors is the fact that it's at Catalan.
Yes.
And Huddersfield's got to travel all the way there.
But Huddersfield do win away.
Yeah.
They don't win at home, but they win away. What's all that about?
Yeah.
I feel a bit for Ian Watson at the minute because he just doesn't seem to be getting the best out of those players, which is different to how I feel about Leeds when I say that Rowan Smith's not getting the best out of his players. But they're not quite there, are they, this year? And he speaks with a lot of passion, and I just don't think he's getting it with them this year. I know they've had a fair amount of injuries. But yes, I expect Catalan to win this week. I think if Huddersfield are going to turn their season around, this is the week to do it. But I expect it to be a Catalan win. Okay,
so both going Catalan. Onto the Sunday then, 3 o'clock, Salford versus St Helens.
Now this could be a really interesting one. So Salford are just one of those teams that just pop up every now and then and get a big win, don't they? And then they slip up against the teams that are in and around them in the league. So great win for them last weekend. I expect this to actually be a really close one. It's at Salford. Saints are doing well again. Darryl Clark hat-tricked, didn't he, at the weekend against London, but we always expected them to beat London. I think it's going to be close, this one. I think it's going to be really close. What are you saying?
I'm saying Saints by 8.
Right. Well, I'm going to back that up. I'm going to say Saints are going to get the win, but yeah, it's going to be close.
Golden point, you reckon?
Less than 8.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay,
but I wouldn't be surprised if Salford won. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. But
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
After last week's games results, you wouldn't be surprised if any. Well, I'd be surprised if London beat Wigan, but any of the teams beat the other team.
But that's what's so good about Super League this year. We had it last year, didn't we? Where each week you didn't really know who was going to. There's a few that you can predict each week, but overall, the teams they're not that far apart from each other, and that's what makes it so exciting. and the best sport in the world.
Yep. So what have we disagreed on?
I think we might have agreed on all, actually.
Solid.
You're not catching me up this week, mate.
Okay, so as always, Karl, anything else to add about all our other shows and that kind of...
Well, we've recorded our Set of 6 news show, which is now live on the YouTube channel, which, great set of stories this week, international news, wheelchair news, and a bit of Super League news thrown in there. And we've also got a podcast dropping this week with...
Jonathan Burgess.
From the North Wales Crusaders. He heads up the foundation at the North Wales Crusaders. It's a great episode. Check it out.
Yeah, if nothing else, check it out because we get into a bit of a rant between rugby union and rugby league. So, it's quite interesting to listen to. But until next week, take care.